Hello everybody, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelorette Recap, which premiered Monday night, Katie Thurston's season. We've got so much to cover today. We'll talk about the lower ratings for Katie Thurston's premiere episode of The Bachelorette, why that might have taken place, but we got a lot to talk about right now with Chris Harrison. As we all know, yesterday it was released that Chris Harrison, former host of the Bachelor franchise for 19 or 20 years, is taking a large 8-figure settlement to leave the show. Some information is coming out as to why he decided it was time to leave the show versus fight for his job, and some dirt. There's a lot of dirt, guys. So let's jump right into it. If you like this video, do me a favor and just hit the subscribe button. We just hit 33,000 subscribers yesterday. Thank you so much. Because of all of the new subscribers, I've been able to make daily content, ditch the side gig, and just come to you guys with Bachelor news. But it's more than that. We're talking about life. We're talking about the human condition, how we interact with others, where we are in society. There's a lot to talk about, and we use Bachelor Nation as the water cooler to have that dance. So anyway, folks, thank you again so much. Let's jump right into this story. So just to tease the Variety article I'll be reading to you guys, Harrison's team was said to be upset about their client taking so much heat when part of his job as the face of the franchise requires him to defend contestants during media interviews. So we're starting to hear a little bit of the reasoning why Chris Harrison felt like he was wronged by the show. Now, it doesn't mean he didn't come off wrong, but he's basically saying, I took the sword, I fell on it. The team, the Bachelor producers, they get to just go on, and I'm the one who looks like the racist, this and that. That's what it seems to be, that his sort of angle is coming from all of this. Now let's just jump right back to what people are saying. These are comments from members of the Bachelor alumni community. Some of them, at least. Nick Vile says, appreciate all that you have done for the show and me. Great things ahead for you. Jason Tartik, thank you for all your mentorship and most importantly, friendship from day one of meeting you on the show to now. Very thankful for that. Now, a lot of people that are like on the cancel Chris Harrison side of things are saying, why are you memorializing him? He didn't die. He just left the job with an 8-figure settlement. And of course, that's because people are looking at it in different ways. There are people that are looking at it saying Chris Harrison is a racist and he shouldn't be allowed this platform. And then there are people that are saying, what, after 20 years of doing his job, he has a bad day at the office and we're not going to give him the redemption? I got this comment. People don't need to be forced to talk to their abuser. I quit listening at that point. So ignorant. A conversation can be had without an abuser hosting a national show. He does not deserve to be there, and he certainly did not deserve that severance package. Enjoy your audience of racism enablers. Bye. I responded, my audience is diverse in thought and full of people with compassion and willingness to learn and grow. Wishing you the best. I understand people are going to look at what I'm trying to say here and kind of boil it down to one thing or another. The fact is, yesterday I made 2 20-plus minute long videos talking about this complicated situation. On one end, it's an employer-employee dispute, and on the other end, there's a racial aspect, the conversation that went sour between Chris Harrison and Rachel Lindsay that was about the issues with Rachel Kirkconnell and Matt James. Now, what we know, and the only thing we know, is that Bachelor producers did a horrible job. The whole Bachelor family did a horrible job nipping this story in the bud, addressing it openly on all their platforms. They tried to monetize it. They tried to stoke it by saying, we're going to have to see how it goes. That's how it backfired. Chris Harrison was the face of that backfiring. So anyway, there's a lot of comments from people that support him. Colton Underwood, love you, Chris. Thank you for your friendship. Michelle Money, you are incredible, Harrison. What a loss for the show. Many people won't be watching anymore, myself included. One thing I know is that you will rise above all of this. Can't wait to see what is next for you. I am proud to call you my friend. They will lose some followers. That's gonna happen. What percentage? I'm not sure. I don't think it's that big. Someone had equated it to a Venn diagram, like the percentage of people that want to cancel Chris Harrison versus the percentage that want to cancel The Bachelor. Most people just watch the show because they love the drama. There might be 1 to 3, 4%, what it might be, that will be leaving out of principle. I don't think it'll be that many, but people are allowed to vote with their dollar even if we disagree with them. Becca Kufrin, wishing you the best in your next chapter, Chris. So much love. And then what we're seeing down here by a lot of comments is Lauren Zima will heart them. Of course, Lauren Zima is, a lot of people have wondered, will Lauren Zima go back to Roses and Rose? I don't even know the name of her show. Sorry, guys. My thought is, of course not. There's no way she sticks with Chris Harrison, who had a very, very, very bad ending to his relationship with The Bachelor. There's no way she sticks with him and also keeps her foot in the door with the Bachelor franchise. It's going to be a hard break. I mean, that's just my guess. We'll have to see how it goes. You can't be like, oh, how was work today, honey? Oh, well, the employer that lets you go after 20 years and I decided to stick with you. Well, they're still paying me and I had a good time at work today. No, it's just not going to happen. Not going to happen. All right, so love you, Chris. Won't be the same without you. Cheers to all you've accomplished thus far and excited to see what's next. Wherever and whoever it's with, they'll be lucky to have you. So the question remains, like a lot of people were saying, a lot of people that commented in support of Chris Harrison were then getting, a lot of hate online and vice versa. It's just one of those things. People can do things that are wrong. People can make mistakes and they can still be your friend. I'm a stand-up comedian. If I disowned every one of my friends for something they've said on stage or something they've done in person, I'd be out of friends. Anyone who works any job, we all work with people, we're all friends with people that are flawed human beings. That's just the way it is. It doesn't mean we make excuses for them, and it just means that we're all trying to evolve and be better. Joel Fletcher, love you, my friend. Jason Mesnick, congrats on the run, buddy. The general public doesn't have any idea how much you helped us cast members with the behind the scenes of the TV world. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Lauren Zima, heart of that. Lauren Zima, heart of Ari Jr., who said, love you, brother, onto bigger and better things. So it goes on and on and on. Sean Lowe, it will never be the same. Love you, buddy. Heart, heart, heart. It will never be the same. Truly the end of an era. Thank you for all the years of hard work and love you put into the show. I have a lump in my throat writing this. Can't wait to see your next move. I love you, Catherine. Love you, Chris. Lauren Zima, heart, heart. So we get it, right? Did I get them all? There was one funny one in there that was, I might have missed it. There was Caitlin Bristow that was saying, no one can replace you. And then everyone's like, well, you just did. You replaced him. You're the host of the show. Doesn't look like I can find that. Anyway, it's in there. You got to trust me. There it is. Caitlin Bristow. You are truly irreplaceable as a host. Thank you for all the years you put into the show and making it what it is. No one does it quite like Mr. Chris Harrison. And then she got a lot of replies there because everyone's like, but you just did. Although the ratings weren't as good. I'll do a whole episode on the ratings. I think it doesn't have everything to do with Chris Harrison or Katie Thurston. We're getting out of a global pandemic here. People are going out and going bowling for the first time. There's a lot of factors as to why the ratings might be dipping right now, especially after the crazy last couple seasons that we've had. So, before I get to that, so I did want to say a trigger warning. I'm going to be talking about domestic violence in a few minutes. So just trigger warning, if you're watching on your TV, you don't want to be part of that conversation, totally understand. I hope I'm doing that right. Let me know if that's how you're supposed to do a trigger warning. My thought, as an idiot, is that when I say the trigger warning, that in itself triggers just whatever. So, but I'm trying to be respectful. So, trigger warning. We're going to be going into domestic violence after as we kind of dive into this article. So, the question is, with Chris Harrison, when it comes to negotiating, I've been in lawsuits, car accidents where I've got to I was in a car accident where there was a video of me getting just T-boned and I still had to be deposed and state my case and this and that. And my lawyer had to ask for 20 times the amount of money to get a certain amount. Negotiating it's bananas. So for Chris Harrison to know he might be getting let go by the show, he has to cover himself. Now, this is where we talk about workplace, employee, employer. Very simple. However you feel about Chris Harrison, you have to put that aside and just discuss what he's going to do for his best interest. So in talking about his best interest, he's going to hire an attorney that's going to cover him. So he hires Brian Friedman, who has represented Megyn Kelly. If you guys remember, Megyn Kelly had a show, I think the third or fourth hour on the Today Show, and she didn't wear blackface, but she said she didn't know it was bad back in the day, and that got her fired. And she ended up with a $60+ million package. She worked the show for several months and left there with $60+ million. And she took the money and that was it. That was it. She was done. Gabrielle Union was let go by America's Got Talent. Brian Friedman represented her. Brian Friedman, power attorney, also represented Cassie Randolph in whatever settlement happened between her and Colton Underwood. So people say, oh, Cassie Randolph decided not to talk. Colton Underwood, I'm assuming, I'm guessing, I'm estimating, hypothesizing, Colton Underwood paid Cassie Randolph I don't know, I'm going to guess around $80,000. He's not that wealthy, but he's worth enough to pay her maybe $80,000 to a low six figures to just move on with her life and not talk about what went down, how we place a tracking device on the hood of her, on the trunk of her car, all of that jazz. She's moved on, and clearly that's a better solution than tying yourself up in court, legal fees. Nobody wins when you do all that. With Chris Harrison's scenario, he could have taken them to court, or at least he thought he had a case because he didn't feel like he was leaving on terms that were appropriate to him and all that he's put into the show. So he decides to get Brian Friedman, power attorney, and they, like I said, in order to get their settlement, they go hard after The Bachelor. So, like I said, he hired Brian Friedman right here. Brian Friedman represented Megyn Kelly in her $69 million exit deal from NBC News. We talked about that. Harrison made a statement to Instagram with all the platitudes they said he would do. Oh, time to move on with my life. But the reality was messy, messy, messy. So let's just try to pull up the clip here where as negotiations were underway, Harrison's team came to the table with ammo of their own. One example is bringing up former allegations against The Bachelor creator Mike Fleiss, who was accused by his wife of domestic violence, which led to a police probe in 2019. Fleiss and his wife have since reconciled. That story itself is very disturbing. It's a very disturbing story. And just to cover it in under a minute, he was accused of attacking his wife. She provided court documents. In her statement, she alleges that he grabbed her body, forcibly pinned her up against a wall before yelling at her and threatening to punch her in the face. Later, Fleiss forcefully shoved Laura Fleiss allegedly off the side of his truck while she pleaded with him to return her cell phone, which he had taken. It was one thing after another, bruises, court documents, even Reality Steve was in on the mix, if I can find that here. Seems like a great guy, very level-headed, husband material. Takes one to know one. I'm not saying Reality Steve is an abuser. He had his own issues this year. Mike Fleiss accused of way worse. On July 5th, Mike was even more angry. This is the court document. He was even more angry that he was on July 5th. Mike was even more angry than he was on July 4th. He continued to berate me. He called me names, including a low-rent gold digger, $50,000 W word, effing C word, and stupid is C word, all of which he has called me before in the past in order to degrade, demean, and humiliate me. So ugly things happening in the behind the scenes of Bachelor Nation, and we wonder, what the hell does this have to do with Chris Harrison? It has to do with him having the recipe for how the Bachelor producers work, having the behind the scenes info. And while a lot of this, maybe a rational person could say, hey, what Mike Fleiss did was horrible. They let him go. They moved on. Or you can look at it and say, Chris Harrison has his nukes pointed at Bachelor Nation. Are they going to pay up and continue this cash cow of a show that they have? Or are they going to let him sink the ship? Because he could. He absolutely could. Oh, my alarm's going off. It's 7:45 in the morning here in Los Angeles. My alarm's going off because I have to go put a car battery in my car because my car battery was just stolen yesterday for the fourth time in broad daylight. I will show you guys just a brief look at this. We got it on camera here. I'm just showing you. Sorry if this is annoying, but this is somebody stealing my car battery right there. Let's see if you can see that there. I don't know if you can see that. At 10 a.m. for the fourth time. So I had to go buy a car battery, and I got to go put it in by 8 a.m. so I can get the street sweeping done. This is the world I live in, folks. This is the world. I'm going to make a video of that on my vlog channel. Just search Dave Neal Vlogs if you want to watch the full video. Again, my issues, very petty, not a big deal. One of the prices you pay to live in Los Angeles is you have your car battery stolen every 4 months. So anyway, I could hopefully Chris Harrison with that 8-figure settlement could buy me a new car battery here. But sorry, wrong clip there. So anyway, the issue with Mike Fleiss, obviously that's just one of many issues that Chris Harrison knows about. There's so much we don't know that Chris knows. How they manipulate the contestants, sleep deprive them, all the secret recipes that they try so hard to keep the contestants from talking about. Now they've got the host of the show from 20 years. They've got him leaving, and they need to button that up, so they pay him, I think it's $25 to $30 million was the final amount, to be quiet, move on with your life, and not speak ill about the show. We'll have to see what actually comes out. There'll be a lot of rumors. There'll be a lot of information. This article on Variety, I want to give credit where it's due. Also written by Elizabeth Wagmeister, who wrote the Colton Underwood article. You're killing it, Elizabeth. Good work. Way to cover the show. She mentions plenty of sources. Numerous insiders tell Variety that Harrison wanted to stay with the hit franchise, which he has hosted since it premiered in 2002. So clearly he didn't want to go, but when he knew there was no end in sight, when they were kicking the can down the road with having David Spade back. And again, I'm not here to cancel David Spade, but there's hypocrisy there. David Spade has been against cancel culture. David Spade has spoken out about people that have been terminated and this and that. But for some reason, we're holding Chris Harrison to a level he just couldn't reach. And like I've always said, rather than deal with people that say my audience are racism enablers, I think there's a conversation that we're missing because they're paying Chris to be silent, where they should have gone forward with keeping him around with other guests, diverse co-hosts, people that could have conversations and challenge him to talk to his base, to talk to the people that aren't willing to grow because they just think it's all about cancel culture. Well, in this case, they were kind of right. Now, Chris got paid. Absolutely. He got paid. That money doesn't go into my bank account. I would have preferred if he was sticking around to talk, to grow, to do all of those things. If he truly didn't want to do that, maybe taking the money was the best scenario for him. But I like to think he would have preferred to keep his job. That was his identity for 20 years, and they just didn't let that happen. So instead of focusing our anger at Chris Harrison, which some of it might rightfully be so, I think we need to do more critical thinking and look at Bachelor producers, the silencers, the people that enabled all of this. They let the forest fire grow to a level that everyone was getting burned. And I want to look at them and say, they're the problem. Don't get mad at the employee, get mad at the employer. They're the platform for where this all exists. Just my thoughts. If you want more content, I've got my Patreon right here. 85 members, private live streams that help support the channel. I appreciate all of you guys so much. I wasn't kidding. I got to go change the car battery. If you want, you can follow my Instagram if you want to check out the exploits of living in LA. I got a new vlog coming out tomorrow. You can check all that out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I've got Rachel Lindsay's response to Chris Harrison's firing. Zach and Tayshia are back together. Some other stories coming along today. So leave a comment. I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Bye now.